British Rail has faced unprecedented opposition to its high-speed link plans, and today it's claimed there's been a radical rethink. Lewisham Council has released details of a new route and report, which it claims British Rail will publish tomorrow. Many protesters in South London and Kent had expected and feared that Route 1 would be picked, slicing overland through New Eltham and historic Kent villages. But it's claimed the compromise route will tunnel through the sensitive South London areas to Swanley. Loosely based on the original Route 1 and 2 options, it will then follow existing rail lines to a North Downs tunnel and follow the M20 to a new tunnel at Ashford. If accurate, this new route represents considerable concessions by British Rail. It could save many South London and Kent properties, appeasing many protesters.
I'm delighted. We've fought long and hard to make sure that the route was not on the surface, was not over our heads as was proposed on the viaducts and bridges and embankments with all the danger that posed. But we said all along it should be deep tunnelled, and this seems to be what is now being proposed. We're delighted about it.
I'm hoping that it will be the beginning of the end of the blight and concern which has affected people living in Kent and South East London.
It's believed British Rail will offer to buy any property within a 240-metre corridor of the planned route at full market value. But the new plan won't satisfy all campaigners. Many still insist there should be a public inquiry, and there remains serious concern about noise and freight.
They're going to talk about tons and tons of freight coming through overnight. Then this isn't an answer either for those. We've got to stay and say to British Rail, thank you for starting to come round to our way of thinking, but you've only started to.
In Swanley, there's now serious concern about the impact of high-speed trains surfacing from the London tunnels.
Here we have the rail link emerging from tunnel in the middle of a large centre of population, and that doesn't make very much sense to me, and it certainly won't to constituents here.
The so-called compromise route also runs the risk of creating fresh protests from people in Peckham and along the M20 in Kent, not previously affected. British Rail is refusing to comment on today's revelations. Its official report is to be published tomorrow. But if today's leak is accurate, there will be a bill seeking development powers by November this year, and the link could be built in the 1990s. This is Teresa Driscoll for Thames News.